Hello! This is the Beretta 1301, a shotgun so loved that the ATF had to nerf it. More on that later. The 1301 is a semi-automatic, tube-fed, gas-operated 12-gauge shotgun made by the oldest firearms manufacturer on the planet. Now this is specifically the tactical, the Mod 2 version, which is a combat shotgun style, and we cannot talk about combat shotguns without mentioning the legend, the Benelli M4. The Benelli M4 is undoubtedly the most tried, tested, and proven shotgun that exists on the planet. If you're going into the sandbox and kicking down doors, I definitely take the M4. Outside of war, I would argue there's a few things that the 1301 does better than the Legend. Now, the 1301 is a full pound lighter than the M4, which is a good and a bad thing. It is going to make it easier to maneuver around, but it is going to make the recoil ever so slightly punchier. Although these are both gas-operated shotguns, so relatively speaking, the recoil is still very soft. My favorite part about the 1301 is how easy it is to load. Your feeding area is beveled in, making it very easy to drop a shell in there and guide it in. Your whole tube is very smooth, so all you have to do is just give it some pressure and it clicks in without having to give it that extra nudge. Your feed ramp actually stays up when it's time to put stuff into the tube, which makes it just a little bit easier to do those fancy double or quad loads. You've also got a very oversized bolt release, which makes it very easy to drop a shell in there and then just kind of hit in its general direction versus the small button on the M4. You're never really going to miss this. If you go for it, you're going to be able to hit it. And you can't talk about the 1301 without talking about the blink system, which is the gas system it uses. It makes it cycle about 30% faster than the competition. Whether or not that matters really depends on if you can recover from the recoil 30% faster, but it is good to know that you probably won't be outrunning this thing. Now, for full transparency, Ethan from Beretta sent me the shotgun for free with no expectation of a review. Thank you, Ethan. Although I have been touting the 1301 for long before the Generation 2 even came out. This one here is a Generation 1 that I sold my best friend for his 21st birthday that I have shot a lot before I even got my hands on this thing. There are some key differences between the Mod 2 and the Mod 1 1301s. The easiest one to look at visually is the different furniture. You've got way more aggressive checkering on the Mod 2s, along with some M-lock slots at the end of your handguard, which the Mod 1 does not have. The lift gates are different. The Mod 2, your lift gate stays up when it's time to load your tube, while on the Mod 1, you always have to push it out of the way. It's not a big deal, but having it stay up makes it a little bit easier to do double and quad loads. One other feature of the Mod 2 that competition shooters might like is that it is able to accept the kickoff system, which is Beretta's hydraulic recoil reducing system, directly into this stock. You don't have to buy another one. I don't exactly know how that one works. It's a little bit magical to me, but if you're a competition shooter, you don't have to buy new furniture to get your recoil reduced by allegedly up to 44%. A final minor difference is the triggers are a little different. The Mod 2 has been recontoured to be a little bit flatter compared to the Gen 1. If you have the Gen 1, I would not recommend going out of your way to upgrade to the Gen 2, but if you're trying to pick between the two, Gen 2's just got those small upgrades that make it a little bit better. The Beretta 1301's blink system is advertised by Beretta as being self-cleaning. They say you can go up to 10,000 shots without having to clean it. Now we know that the M4 can go over 25,000 shots without having to be cleaned in adverse conditions. So both of them are very reliable shotguns. It's going to be your choice on which one you want to go with, whether or not you want something that is going to be virtually indestructible, a little bit heavier, a little bit more durable, or something a little bit higher speed, new school cool. Now the 1301 Tacticals you can buy right now come with a 7-round tube, with 1 in the chamber, plus the ability to ghost load another one, so 9 in total. This is what scared the ATF, and they banned the 7-round tubes for import for the 1301s. Starting next year, they're going to be being imported with 5-round tubes instead, so if you want a 7-rounder from the factory, you probably want to pick one up now before the market dries up. Now, ghost loading is when you fully fill up your tube, put 1 into the chamber, and then leave 1 hanging off the feed ramp as your ghost load. It allows you to kind of +1 your +1. So after we put 7 2 3/4 inch shells into the tube, we're going to hold the bolt back not all the way, stick 1 more shell onto the feed ramp and force it down, and then take your final one and drop it in. As you can see, it's not the easiest thing to do. You can't do it on the fly, but to get your shotgun prepped up, you can fit 9 in there for your first volley. The non-law enforcement models of the 1301 are able to accept a choke, which means you can put, bird stuff on it, but also means you can put on a Salvo 12. Suppressing a shotgun might not be the most practical thing in existence, but you can't get over how fucking cool it is. Now, I would say it's a testament to how cool a firearm is if the ATF feels the need to ban it by name. If you're looking for a tube-fed semi-automatic shotgun, I would look no further than the Beretta 1301 or the Benelli M4, or even a Beretta A300 Patrol if you're looking to save a few bucks. It's 70% the gun for half the cost. If you want to pick one of these up while they still have the 7-round tubes, thank you.